Hello, I'm Katherine, and here we are today with the angel reading for the new moon. So I'm wanting to get these regular readings happening. So this is the beginning, new moon, full moon, and weekly readings as they come up and resonate too. So we've got that support happening for the community during these times. And it's been challenging. It's been challenging for me too. So doing my best to show up and offer support as I can also. So yeah, the doing a 3-card reading, and the first card that showed up is the Shadow Self by Angel Samael. And I just wanted to say that I'm using the Angel Oracle deck. I'll use different decks from time to time, but at the moment I'm loving using the Ask an Angel Oracle deck. And the card that showed up is the Shadow Self, an Angel Samael. No surprise for me that this card showed up. So what I'll do is open the Akashic Records. Open the vibrational record for receiving a message from Angel Samael regarding the Shadow Self. So this is the first card. This is the card about where we've been, where we've been traveling. And I don't know about you, but I can very much relate to spending time with the shadow self, spending time dealing with the emotions that have been pushed down, dealing with parts of self that have been also denied expression. And all of this is coming up for healing. And it's important. So just dropping in here, letting the message flow through. So the way that I work is I sort of collaborate with the team member to receive the message, and I sort of flow with what comes to me. I'm very clear cognizant, and then let the message come through. So whether the message comes through from the angel that shows up in this case. So I'm just feeling Angel Samael can actually support us during this time to be with the difficult stuff, be with the stuff that we've pushed down, be with our shadow stuff, the stuff that's unpleasant, the stuff that we haven't wanted to look at, the emotional stuff that felt too painful to deal with and have just pushed down, or it wasn't, the time that we wanted to sit with that. And just dealing with things about ourselves which we may have rejected, parts of ourselves we may have judged or criticized or not liked. All of that's doing the shadow work, doing the healing work for what's coming up right now. And it's not like we have to go and dredge into that. So the point is that this stuff's coming up for all of us, that we're really in this journey personally and collectively of going into the sacred darkness, where we meet that which has been pushed down and denied, that which we haven't wanted to deal with or look at personally and collectively. And it's important work. When we don't deal with this, it's like baggage. It has a heavy energy, a toxic energy. It can't transform or move or shift because it's just been pushed down and blocked, right? And it's like, emotions are like water that they need to flow to be healthy, but this stuff's been pushed down. It hasn't been able to flow and move. So it's become, heavy and dark and toxic, and then it attracts negative energies to it. So that stuff's coming up in this process, in this planetary process, time of great change. The stuff that we're needing to heal, might be really old stuff, might even be past life stuff, the pain, the trauma, the stuff that we've pushed down, the stuff that it's hard to face and look at about ourselves. It might be coming up about what's coming up in the world as well, how we personally relate to that, and parts of that we've denied and not wanted to deal with too. The stuff we haven't wanted to deal with within and without, it's coming up. So it's going to, my sense is it's going to keep coming up more strongly until we deal with it. And as we deal with things coming up from within, it becomes actually easier to deal with stuff from without. And because we get the wisdom and the understanding from doing our inner work, gaining that insight, getting that healing, and our dealings with the similar things in the outside world then become more easily dealt with. They become lighter too. The inner work we do lightens the collective. So much coming up now for us in the world to deal with. And as we do our personal work, as we take responsibility, in a sense, we're not contributing to outer problems. We are taking responsibility. We're helping to heal and shift outer problems. So it benefits everyone. So yeah, I just really feel, as I'm sitting with this card, I really just feel that energy of the sacred darkness, and there's stillness there. There's actually peace there, and there's insight and wisdom there in that darkness. So if you've been feeling in a dark place, and that can be part of it, feeling in a dark place, feeling depressed, feeling hopeless and despairing. And as these things come up that are hard to deal with, and things that can be of help during such times, I've been practicing a lot of mindfulness myself and found that helpful, just sitting with what's there. Lighting a candle is a good practice, that especially when we're not finding it hard to find that light and way forward. Lighting a candle is a great symbol, and lighting a candle and just sitting with whatever's going on, just being with it, just absorbing it, being absorbing, being present, being present to it. And just gaining any insights. That's where journaling is great too, because journaling helps to express what's coming up and gain insights to help understand and shift and move forward with whatever's coming up. So really, I'm getting a sense of just coming into the stillness within, through meditation, through just sitting with what's there, rather than getting into the dramas, rather than playing it out on the outside. Just it's that time of just coming into the stillness is a really good place to do the shadow work. In the stillness, in the quiet, we can see more clearly. So what helps you to come to that place of stillness and quiet? Perhaps being in nature, sitting by the water, a bath, meditation, prayer, sitting with a candle. It's really feeling that energy of stillness and the peace that comes from dealing with the pain. Inside the peace, inside the pain and the suffering, there's peace, and there's just awareness and that light of understanding and wisdom. And I'm feeling that Angel Samael, that's what Angel Samael brings, really support for being in those, going into our inner darkness and dealing with that within and without, and just holding steady, holding strong, and just being with that, finding that steadiness place in ourselves, finding that anchor in ourselves to hold us through this time. So spiritual practice can be supportive during this time to help to hold the steadiness and the stillness while there's a lot of stuff coming up, while there's a lot of externally chaos and dramas and a lot coming up, a lot going on, and while there's maybe a lot coming up from within. So what can support you to just find that steadiness and stillness? For me, really the practice of the sacred flame, keeping a flame burning really helps to hold the transformation, hold the space for transformation, hold the space for harmony and peace. Meditation's great. Practicing your daily meditation. Rhythm is important, regularity. even if it's just 10 minutes meditation, even 5 minutes, just having that rhythm can help you just come into that steadiness, stillness that anchors while you're going through this time. The stillness. Breathing. Coming back to the breath. Breath's really important for whatever's going on. Just remembering to breathe deeply into the belly just helps things to move. It helps with the stillness. It helps to stay connected with yourself, not go off into your head or get into drama. It's just staying with the present moment, staying with your body, staying with your breath. Yeah, a lot there with that. I'm really just feeling the depths of that. I'm feeling the collective pain at the moment too with this card, because a lot of people are really suffering and in that dark place. And it's like we need to go through this. We need to go through this and understand things and move forward in a new way. This is part of, sometimes we just want to move forward and bypass all that, but it's not the way. The way is through and dealing with our own stuff, dealing with the stuff we've pushed down and not wanting to deal with. Yeah, and if you're really struggling, remember to get some help. Reach out to a friend or see a therapist or counselor or healer. Do get yourself the support if you're really struggling with what's coming up at the moment, because there is a lot. And looking after yourself, self-nurturing practices like maybe a bath. I really recommend the Epsom salts bath once a week at least at the moment, help to cleanse the energies. Saging is good for cleansing yourself and your house. So that's a few things. I hope that's helpful. And now we come into the present. The card that came up for the present is Archangel Uriel and Alchemy. So this card continues on really well from the Shadow Self card. So I see this reading really is going to the full moon, so for the next couple of weeks, the sort of where we've been, where we are, where we're going. Okay, so Archangel Uriel, so opening the vibration record for a message advance card from Archangel Uriel. I'm really feeling with this card that we're in the fire, in transformation, and that what's helpful with moving through and forward is that spiritual fire, that transformation, that alchemic process. That helps things transform and move, so we're not just there's times when we're in the darkness, and then moving through that and forward, there's a transformation process that happens. So Archangel Uriel can assist with the transformation. You can, we don't have to do this alone. You can ask for help when you're struggling, ask for help to transform whatever's coming up after you've sat with it and been with it. We can't just spiritual bypass, but you can ask for help when you're sitting with something and you feel it's too much for you to be with. You can ask for help to have the strength to sit with that, to have to find the stillness, to find the peace. You can't expect the archangels to do all the work for you, but to help and assist you to do the healing work, to do the work and move through that. So just sitting with what's coming up here in the Alchemy card. The alchemy process is what makes the work conscious and transforms, whatever helps to make the work that the way that I receive messages isn't in words. So it's what helps to transform, is what helps to make what's going on conscious and offer it up to the fire of transformation. So things like conscious practices that help with transformation are what's helpful here, to rather than just things coming up and going round and round and processing. We want the alchemic process to take place where what's coming up is transformed into something higher, like You know, when you sit with emotional pain and you come up with wisdom and insight, that's part of the alchemic process. When you transform the heavy, dark energies into something useful, into wisdom to help you moving forward. So these are all the things in this place that can help with the transformation, help with the alchemic process. So again, it really does flow on from things that I was saying with the last card, that things that can help this alchemic process to take place. That's the practices and work that you can do here, and also asking for assistance with this transforming as you're working with whatever's coming up or sitting with that. So it can be things like journaling can really help bring the insights and wisdom and awareness for that alchemic process to take place. For alchemy to take place, I think we need to create a space for that, a sacred space that holds the work. So how can you do that? You know, a sacred space, part of that can be creating a regular time, so that you know that you've just got that space and time where you're sitting with whatever's coming up. However, you have a commitment to that and intention, and you're sitting with that, spending time. You might make that journaling time or meditation time. So that is part of the alchemic process, holding that space for the transformation to occur. Or alternatively, you know, someone else can hold that space for you, such as a therapist, assisting that transformation to take place. So creating that space for the transformation to take place, and then journaling can be great. Prayer can be great. Prayer and really sincerely, you know, speaking what's going on, asking for forgiveness or asking for wisdom, understanding, asking for help to release the past, asking for help to move forward in a new way. This is ways that you can work with prayer. And that becomes a transformational alchemic process. Other things that can be useful as part of the alchemic process to support that. It's things that create that fire. And literally you can sit with a candle. So lighting a candle and breathing, you know, when you're perhaps sitting with emotion, sitting with whatever's going on, lighting a candle and breathing that fire, breathing that into the heart. Down into the belly, wherever the emotions are sitting, and just feeling that fire just transforming and transmuting, helping to transmute and transform whatever's going on. And I'm really getting with the alchemic process, the key is coming into the heart space, sitting with whatever's going on, sitting with that fire in the heart. Assists with the transformation process. It assists to raise it up through into the fire of the heart, into that fire of love, that sort of fierce, fiery love that can hold and support you, that can transform whatever's going on, that has a strength to it, that can transform and shift and move. The heart is a natural transformer. So just sitting with whatever's going on, whatever pain in you or in relation to somebody else, and just sitting in the heart and letting that fire in the heart. You might like to even breathe in the fire from a candle, or just visualize fire in the heart, just transforming, transmuting whatever's going on. So working with the heart energy is really important in the alchemic process. That's what I'm getting with this card. See, that fire in the heart is another way to work with the alchemic fire, because the heart is in the body, that place of transformation of the lower energies to the higher energies, and that's the alchemic process. So when you come into the heart and you hold love for yourself, for others, for whatever's going on, helps that transformational process, that fire in the heart. Okay, so I think we've got that one covered. And the next card, I'm just going to have a sip of water. Okay. The next card is Archangel Haniel, and beauty. I love that card. And this is moving forward. This has a very, so I can see how these cards, as I often find with these cards, follow on well from each other. We start with the shadow self, then the alchemy process, and then the beauty. And all of this can be happening really consecutively, really, as we're sort of being with the shadow self and the alchemic process and whatever, being with whatever's coming up, doing the alchemic work. There can also be the beauty there. I like to think of beauty in the way that word's used shamanically, of not just physical beauty, but living with beauty, living with that, living in beauty is to live in harmony, live in accord with all that is, to, live with that grace and beauty and love and joy. So, this is that which uplifts us. This is, we're doing all that work, and what comes out of that, the fruit of the work, is the beauty. So I'm just going to open the vibrational record here, open the vibrational record for the message from Archangel Haniel. And I'm already feeling that lightness in the heart. I'm really feeling the card in the heart, and this card in the heart of beauty, and just feeling that joy and lightness and blessings that the angels bring, that the archangels bring in working with them. And they really can help you to find that beauty in whatever's going on, to come into that place of where you're letting go of and transforming the past and whatever's been sitting there, and the baggage. And the other side of that is the fruit of that, is the joy, is the lightness, is the inspiration. So finding what brings you joy, what brings you that inspiration, how do you express beauty in your life? Perhaps, expressing gratitude and appreciation helps you to come in a place of beauty. And it's different for everyone. Someone, it might be having that beauty in the environment, candles, flowers, beautiful colors, wearing beautiful colors. How can you express that beauty in the world after you've been through the change? And as you're going through the change, how can you express that beauty and inspiration and joy into the world, to yourself, and share that with the world? How can you bring what inspires you, what brings you joy? How can you bring that aspect of living with beauty, no matter what's going on, really? Just, I know when I've been through very difficult times and challenging times, and what I did each day was to find something that brought me joy, no matter what was going on, and realizing that was a choice I could make. If I just paid attention, I could really feel gratitude for the song of a bird. There was a time when I was not sleeping so well. I would wake up often at 2 in the morning, and I'd be up for a while. And there was a bird that would sing at 2 in the morning. Who knew birds sing at 2 in the morning? And that bird, I would wake up and I'd be in a difficult place, and that bird was singing. And the song was so sweet and so beautiful. And I was so grateful. It was like I had that, there was what I was going on with. And I was just like, that bird was singing, whether it was or was not, but was singing for me and was there, and we were sharing this moment. And I felt such support and such blessing and such gratitude. It just, shifted what I was feeling into gratitude. So, yeah, a wonderful way to come into that sense of beauty is through gratitude, I find, through appreciation, through noticing just the little things that bring you joy. A bird. For me, I love nature, so it's often a bird, a tree, the way the sun and the light's filtering through the trees, the blossom. We're in springtime, so the blossoms on the trees, the warmth after it's been so cold, the smile on someone's face, the kindness. Okay, so yeah, that's our reading for the new moon. Thank you so much for staying with me. You're still here at this point in the video, and wishing you a beautiful couple of weeks and beautiful new moon, and thank you.